Let's go.
Deep in the delta where the willows grow, in the soil stained by the blood of my ancestors. Punch bowl voices call out to my soul for justice. The wicked will reap what they've sown. Spirit of Aziz is back on the rise. Soldiers in the delta kept it alive. Time to stand up, take our place in the sun. Understand the time and what must be done.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. Mississippi. 10K fearless on the move. Mississippi. Sip.
Gotta make a move and take control. Have something we can call our own. So shine your light, help the people see that now is the time for us to be free. And if you waiting on the pie in the sky, you better wake up fast. They told you a lie, cause big fields await the wide awake man. Elijah's got the master.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. Mississippi. 10K fearless on the move. Mississippi. Sip. Injustice, we've had enough. All of our divisions we're breaking up. Destiny has been calling us. The spirit of the Most High is guiding us.
See, the time is now. What you waiting on? Quit shooting your brothers. Put your gun down. Come on. They got a cage waiting for you if you keep that up. Early graves coming to you. From that, can't raise you up. Now, Sister Ida B and Fannie Lou, check them out and you'll know what to do. But if you really want your enemy to be alarmed, read the final call. Follow Farrakhan.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. Mississippi. 10K fearless on the move. Mississippi. Sip. 10K fearless. 10K fearless on the move. 10K fearless on the move. In Mississippi, Mississippi. 10,000 fearless on the move.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you, and welcome to another edition of the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. I am your host, Brother Abdul Shaheed Muhammad, and please allow us to begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, whose proper name is Allah, we call him by, and that is not to the dismissal or exclusion of any other righteous name by which other people of faith refer to the supreme divine creator. We bear witness to the oneness of God, the oneness of his prophets, and the oneness of the scriptures that were revealed through them to the whole of the human family. Please allow me to greet you with the greeting words of peace, of Assalamu alaikum, which means may peace be unto you. Man, it's good to be back. We've been gone a couple of weeks, have a lot going on, a lot to catch up on. And we have a very, very, I could say emotional, but I won't say emotional. But this one really, really hit me in the head. Special guest tonight will be our brother William Stewart. He is a member of the family of Mr. Stephen Clay Perkins, who was shot down by the Decatur, Alabama Police Department in what can really be characterized as an ambush. I have seen the video footage from a home surveillance camera across the street from where the incident occurred. And I can tell you, brothers and sisters, it makes your mouth drop open. But tonight, we want to allow this family to, use our platform, and we thank them for entrusting us to come on and allow them to tell their story on this platform and give them the freedom to express that more and greater attention can be brought to what's happening down in the Delta. And brothers and sisters, I can assure you, the ghosts of old rural South are well and alive in the rural areas and the sparsely populated areas of the Delta, your Mississippi Delta, your Alabama, Louisiana, and all of those, and in northern Florida and even in southern Florida. Those states that have historically been notorious for injustice and complete disrespect for due process and for serving our brothers and sisters with justice and fair treatment in that area specifically. It happens all over the country, but it is very, very pronounced in the Delta. And in the time that I have, by God's grace, been working in North Mississippi, I hear story after story after story of brothers and sisters and our family being arrested on little or nothing, being given extraordinarily high bonds where our white counterparts are given very low bonds, shootings of family members by police with absolutely no transparency, complete disrespect, as though we're actually not citizens. And the truth be told, we are not. They call us citizens, as the most honorable Elijah Muhammad has said, mockingly, because anytime you can say that you've abolished slavery, but your 13th Amendment says slavery does not exist except you commit a felony, and then you socially engineer the society to ensure that a specific segment, more so than any other member of the population, ends up in the prison industrial complex, and that's black and brown people. Then slavery was never ended in this country. It's a trap door, as one of our brothers called it. So tonight, before we get into tonight's program, of course, we're going to have our brother William Muhammad. He's going to come on and give us the farm report. I certainly appreciate what Brother William is doing, and he's got some good news, and we want you to know what we got going on in Holly Springs and North Mississippi, and even as far south as Vicksburg and Ackerman and down in Louisville, Mississippi. We're doing the best we can with the resources and people that we have to make a positive change for the life outcomes of our brothers and sisters while we have the baton and running our leg of the race and the struggle for the liberation of our people. But as we always do, we like to give you our axioms or our guiding principles that if you so desire to call in to be a part of this program, to ask a question or to make a comment. And we also ask that if you choose to do so, if you have the Podbean app on your phone, you can create a free account and log on, and call in is available. And if you call in, we certainly expect that you be respectful, use language that is not offensive, no swearing or cursing. We're not going to argue with you, but we do welcome you to this platform to share your thoughts and your concerns. But you can rest assured, if you come on and you refuse to keep the decorum of our platform, we will humbly and respectfully dismiss you from our airwave. I want to give a few shout outs before I do that. I see the brothers and sisters are on. Thank you all for coming on, and thank you for your continued support of this podcast. And we certainly will continue to use it as a platform for our people to bring awareness to what's happening down in the Delta, as well as what we can do for ourselves to help curtail the ills that persist in our communities. So let's get to our axioms for tonight, brothers and sisters. I love to use these axioms. Let me give you what an axiom is. An axiom is a statement or proposition which is regarded as being established, accepted, or self-evidently true to serve as a premise or starting point for further reasoning and arguments. Okay. So the axioms that I like to use from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he gave us this one, or this is one of the ones he gave us. He said to us, quote, "He who gives you the diameter of your knowledge prescribes for you the circumference of your activity." And that is to say to us, those who have been giving us the diameter of our knowledge, we've been under the tutelage of a people who continue in a system that continues to not give us what they say is ours, and that is justice. That is to be treated fairly. Well, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us, if a man won't treat you right, that same man ain't going to teach you right. So if they haven't taught us right, they've been giving us our diameter of knowledge, and they've been able to prescribe for us the circumference of our activity. So they dictate to us when we lose our family members at the hands of law enforcement. They even want to dictate to us how to say ouch, how to grieve. So that's the first axiom. And the second one, also from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, wherein he writes, quote, a slave is one whose power and authority is ruled over by another and whose sphere of freedom is limited according to the wishes of his master, end quote. That is from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And I'd like to also give you a third one. And this one is from our brother Carter G. Woodson in his seminal work, The Miseducation of the Negro. We have to bear witness. We have been woefully miseducated, and we have become emotionally attached to this education they've given us. And it's been very, very difficult to get our people to part ways with a lot of false ideas and concepts that we hold dear to and true to, many of which are rooted in religion. And of course, we are in that season of conspicuous spending and in the season of celebrating pagan traditions that many of our people really already know have nothing to do with the birth of Jesus and all of the other trappings that come along with this time of year. So the only thing you can conclude is we just still have a sentimental attachment to this holiday season, even though we know Jesus is not the reason for this season. We just make him the reason. How would you feel if someone celebrated your birth anniversary, but they did it on a month and day that's nowhere near the month or day that you were actually born? Ain't that interesting? Just think about that. But let me close with this axiom from Carter G. Woodson when he said, quote, when you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. You do not have to tell him to go here or yonder. He will find his proper place and will stay in it. You do not need to send him to the back door. He will go without being told. In fact, if there's not a back door, he will cut one for his special benefit. His education makes it necessary, end quote. So those are axioms to get us started for today. And as we always do, we're going to get our commercial announcements in because we want to support those who support us. And we thank our brothers and sisters for coming on today. And in a few minutes, about 1 minute really, or a little longer, once we finish the announcements, our brother William Muhammad is going to come on and give us the Farm Report. We'll be right back after these commercial announcements.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call Radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
Taste the difference. Taste Supreme. Enjoy our 100% natural Supreme spring water with natural calcium and magnesium, but zero fluoride and zero chloride. Our bottles are BPA free. Order yours today. Call us at 800-573-8033. That's 800-573-8033. Or visit us online at www.supremespringwater.com. Live supreme. Be supreme. Drink supreme. Supreme Spring Water. 801 Joseph E. Boone Boulevard, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30314.
The Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique. At Urban Indulgence, we pride ourselves on offering quality, effective skincare. Handcrafted with plant-based, skin-loving ingredients, our soaps and body butters will give you luxurious lather and ultimate moisture. Experience The Urban Indulgence at 3314 Poplar Avenue in Memphis, 3 blocks west of Poplar Plaza, or shop with us online at theurbanindulgence.com. theurbanindulgence.com.
What's your source for truth in news reports?
Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Where do you turn for non-corporate driven news that's fair and balanced?
Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Subscribe to the Final Call News, your #1 free and independent news source that delivers hard-hitting national and international news coverage of today's political, economic, and social issues. To subscribe to local home delivery, call us at area code 662-252-8999. That's 662-252-8999. Visit our website at www.finalcall.com.
10,000 fearless on the move.
And we are back. We are back live here at the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. Once again, I am your host, Brother Abdul Shaheed Muhammad. Certainly a pleasure and an honor to be before these microphones to do my little part and our little part as the Holly Springs, Mississippi Study Group located at 165 North Memphis Street, to do our part as a community to aid and assist our people wherever we can and in whatever way we can. Shout out to the believers there of the Holly Springs Study Group. Thank you so much, dear beloved brothers and sisters. I done fell in love with them, y'all. Like I said, I got to tell you, I want to make it public. I love the believers of Holly Springs, Mississippi. And I just want them to know that. And they are on and they are always supportive. Thank you so very much. So we're going to move and we're going to receive our brother William Muhammad to give us the farm report. Brother William, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. How you doing, man? Let's give him a round of applause.
Yes, sir. I'm doing fine by the grace of God. And yourself?
I am well, dear brother. Thank you so much, Brother William, for gracing us with your presence and for picking up your share of the workload as a student and helper of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the Ministry of Agriculture. What do you have to report for us tonight, brother?
Yes, sir. Well, I'll start locally here at Kingdom Farms here in Mississippi. We just completed the first phase of our hoop house building project, which we were able to get it completed. That's the first one. We're scheduled to build at least 2 in our area, and then inshallah we'll be going up to Holly Springs to build one up that way as well. As soon as we get finalized the date. So we can start, building supplies and all that,
Yes, sir.
Is gathered. Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. Go ahead, sir. Give me some more.
Yes, sir. This is something that, that is actually long overdue. But like I say, better late than never. Once again, I want to thank Brother Davey.
Come on now.
For extending us the hospitality of letting us use his piece of land to do our project on.
Yes, let's give Brother Davey and his wife, Sister Crystal, Brother Davey. Me and Brother Davey, man. Just to let our audience know, me and Brother Davey, Muhammad, I'll call him Davey X, we go way back into the early 80s in high school. We played football together. And Brother Davey is one that is like the tip of the spear for this project. He has come to me on several occasions and said, brother, we need to grow some food. Brother, we need to grow some food. So now it's going to be made a reality. And for those that are listening, if you want to be a part, if you want to help, we are raising funds ourselves. We're not going to ask the community to do. We're going to start with self. The brothers in the ranks, we are putting our tools and fuse together. We have our own seeds. We're going to build the structure. We're going to get the compost. And God willing, man, we're going to make a pretty good sized hoop house, inshallah, be it the will of Allah, to grow food to serve ourselves and the extended community to whatever extent that the food that we put in the ground grows roots down and sends a shoot up and bears fruit on the vine. Anything else you got for us, Brother William?
Yes, sir. I wanted to say also that at Muhammad Farms in Brunwood, Georgia, Dr. Ridgely informed us that if it's the will of God, we'll be able to get some fall crops this in December. Mm-hmm. And some of the crops that he mentioned was cabbage, broccoli, rutabaga, turnips. Yes, he mentioned those. So I got to keep in contact with him. I think around December the 9th, something will be available, which I believe is next Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to reach out to him and see. And then I'm going to also ask the believers, who all may want to go pitch in and get something. And I'm going to attempt, if it's God will, to go over there and grab some of that.
Come on, man. Grab some, brother. Grab some.
Yes.
Hey, I got to say it real quick. We got our brother Markel Bridges on from Building Bridges. Shout out to him. We interviewed him in a recent issue of The Final Call. Our brother's doing great work. I'm glad to see him on the dashboard. Certainly, he is always welcome, as I've told him, to this platform. We're going to get to him, and we're going to get to those family members of our brother Stephen Clay Perkins. But Brother William, man, we had some staple goods to come in the past few days. Could you share with the audience our staple goods program and the fact that it is open and available to the public if they want to order through the Holly Springs, Mississippi Study Group in Holly Springs?
Yes, sir. The staple goods program is something that we do every so often. I think it's like every 4 months, in which not just the people in the Nation of Islam, but people in our community can order dry goods, non-perishable items such as small red beans, black beans, and the universally known navy bean. We have the whole wheat flour, which is sifted. We also have whole wheat pastry flour, cream of wheat. We have the rice, brown lentils, and green lentils. But these are food that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad advised us to get and store into our houses for hard times.
That's right.
And like I say, members of the public can also get access to this. And what we do is, we take the orders. You can go online and order, or I can take the order at NOIMOA.org.
That's right.
And once the order is secure, we have a certain time that we make the orders, and then after that deadline, we start collecting the funds for that order. Mm-hmm. And there's a deadline for that too. And then we send the money to the necessary place that it has to go. And then the food is actually shipped by contracted truck drivers at certain destinations that we go and pick it up and deliver it.
That's right. And those contracted truck drivers are in the nation, and they are employed by the Nation of Islam. Is that right, brother?
Some of them are. Some of them.
Right.
Yes, sir. Some of them. Yes, sir.
And that lets you know that it ain't just the Muslims we employ. So, dear brother, man, thank you for your report, Brother William. And I tell to our community out there listening to this, my wife and I, Brother William, we had to bust open another bag of beans, man. We're having to shuffle it around. So the next order, we're going to have to replace that bag, and we're probably going to get another one just to make sure we have a plenty. Because I'm telling you, we got them 55-pound bags of navy beans. We got small reds. We got rice. We got cream of wheat. And we got wheat flour. We got it, brother. And my wife done canned some stuff. So I thank Allah for her. And, and we're just trying to stay on top of it, man, because food prices are starting to soar. And the small navy bean is an excellent and healthy way and healthy stable to sustain yourself and bad times as they come. Because I heard an old saying, Brother William, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, brother. Would you not agree?
Yes, sir. That's definitely true.
Yes, sir. Yes, praise be to Allah. How's your family, man? How's the queen doing and everybody in the household? Everybody all right?
Everybody's doing fine. You know, she's going through her thing, you know, when a woman is expecting. But other than that, you know, all praise is due to Allah. Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. Let her know the sisters and the believers. She's in our thoughts, and we're praying for her, and we pray that Allah keeps her healthy and you know, come through what she's coming through with flying colors and be just as healthy as she was before she went through it. All right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Brother William. We'll get you next week, welcome. Brother. Inshallah, we'll be back on. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, sir. Walaikum salam, sir.
Yes, that was our brother. Yeah. That was our brother William with the Farm Report. And we're at that point of the program, 7:26. We expect our guest at around 7:30. And tonight's program, brothers and sisters, tonight's guests are the family members of one Stephen Clay Perkins, who was gunned down by the Decatur, Alabama officers of the Decatur, Alabama Police Department. And as I stated earlier, I had the opportunity to watch some surveillance footage of a resident of the incident as it unfolded. And I'm going to tell you, family, it's very difficult to watch. It had me in a bad mood for several days. And I mean, it's really atrocious. And I extended to this family. And of course, our brother who is on, Brother Markel Bridges, I extend to him and those families that he works directly with. And it's very therapeutic. Our brother, he has a Zoom meeting with them every Wednesday evening. We have a meeting at the same time. And sometimes I'm available to get on. And then sometimes their meeting is concluded by the time our meeting is concluded. But I want to thank Brother Markel for what he's doing. I pray for our brother that God keeps him strong and strengthened to champion the cause and be aid and assistance to our brothers and sisters. But as we wait for the family members of the Perkins family to come on, Brother William Stewart, and I think Sister Adriana told me that she would like to come on as well. And any family member, I'm not limiting this family. This family wants to tell a story. And oftentimes, brothers and sisters, when our families are injured, we've kind of been desensitized to our own plight. It's kind of like our spiritual nervous system has been interrupted by mentalities of rugged individualism. And we don't hurt for each other and we don't grieve for each other the way we did back in the day. As a matter of fact, we've become the number one enemy of self almost, in that we are more prone to kill ourselves than anybody else. But Brother Markel, are you on, sir? Are you on, Brother Markel? Okay, hold on just a second, Sister Adriana. I have a slight thing I need to change here. There we go. Sister Adriana, is that you?
Yes.
All right, you got Brother Markel here. Yeah, I hear that deep baritone in the background.
Yeah, I couldn't find my headphones, and we're actually at another meeting right now, so I just went ahead and he had it on his phone set up already, so I just went ahead and got on here. I'm trying to help William get set up, so give me like 2 minutes.
That's fine, sister. Thank you so much. And Brother Markel, thank you, man, for stepping in and aiding and assisting, man. I tell you, man, that brother is helping those families. And when I go on his Zoom meeting, the Wednesday nights that I am able to come on, it is remarkable to witness. It's kind of like a therapy almost. Matter of fact, it is. It allows those family members to express what's happening to them, man. And I'm telling you, it's an experience to sit and listen to what is happening at the hands of local government in towns that most of us never even heard of. Many of these towns, like Scott, what's that town I was looking at? It's in one of the recent issues of the Final Call newspaper, where our brother Markel was being interviewed. And I think it was in Scott County, Mississippi, where a brother was found hung in February of in 2018. And the family won the lawsuit, but nobody ever went to jail. You know, it's like they just kill us. You know, they'll shell out a few dollars, and they're working on legislation to limit the amount of money that you can actually, you know, retrieve. See, that's how they do, brothers and sisters. And the thing of it is, I came across, I don't want to share this quickly, and I'm going to close with it too. I want to put it at the top of this program and at the end of the program. There's a professor in Alabama. It's been some years ago. His name is Clarence Casson. And he talked about how lynching black men is a general principle. And this is what he had to say. Now, this is a professor, Alabama University professor, as a matter of fact. His name is Clarence Casson, and he talked about how lynching black men is a general principle in Alabama and in the Deep South. And he said these words according to their historical records. He said, quote, "This conviction that the black man must now and then be intimidated in order to keep him from forgetting the bounds which Southern traditions have set for him is firmly rooted in the consciousness of many. So unquestioned is this philosophy that at times lynchings are planned and carried through not under the fierce compulsion of mass mob hysteria, but by men who have calmly resigned themselves to the performance of a painful duty, which according to their lights is necessary for the good of society." So in a scholarly way, he said, every now and then we kill a few black people to keep the rest of them in order. And the reality is, as they have said to us, one of the leaders of the Klan once said, you know, there's a time is coming where we won't be wearing white sheets. You know, we'll be wearing black robes and blue police uniforms. And that's a fact. It's been reported by law enforcement agents, by the FBI, that several members of the Ku Klux Klan and right-wing extremist groups and skinheads and people of that ilk have infiltrated police departments around the country. And they find I guess I would characterize it as a hiding spot in rural areas where there's not much scrutiny or spotlight on them and their behavior. And there are even police chiefs that aid and abet and facilitate the behavior. You saw that with what happened with the Goon Squad that tortured two black men for nearly 90 minutes, for nearly 2 hours, shot one of the brothers in the mouth, intended to kill him. And matter of fact, the brother that was shot, he said, "They did kill me. I just didn't die." And I got to meet those brothers in Jackson, Mississippi. And the fear that it puts in our people is the kind of fear that, as Mr. Casson said, it maintains the social bounds that Southern traditions have prescribed for black folk. So when you go to these small towns, things appear calm and normal. But if you would get our people in private and broach the conversation or the topic of the relationship between the black community and local authorities, you'll hear some horror stories. And because we are so disconnected as black folk and as black people, we've been so desensitized to one another's plight. And we've become, you know, the number one hurters and robbers and injurers of our own selves and our women even. We don't feel when our brother and sister is mistreated by anybody. So family, as we await the return of our sister, Adriana, and the family of Brother Stephen Clay Perkins, I want to begin. I was going to pause on this, but I'm going to go ahead because it's going to be part of the program. I wanted to read some of the stories, a part of them, until they come on about this incident. This incident happened in late September, according to what I understand it was around September 28th, as the media reported it. And I say that with a bit of salt, because I'm going to ask the family exactly when it happened, because you know how media is. You know, sometimes they get it right, most of the times they don't, even on the dates. But according to WHNT News in Decatur, Alabama, and they reported around October the 9th that people had been gathering outside the Decatur City Hall. They had been gathering out there since October the 1st, which they say was a couple of days after our brother Clay Perkins, Stephen Clay Perkins, was shot and killed by the police. And then they ended up gathering in City Hall chambers. So the public has shown some displeasure with what happened. And it says that during the work session, the mayor, the current mayor, Tab Bowling, he announced that he was not going to run for re-election. So I don't know whether or not this incident gave impetus to his decision or had influenced him in that decision. It doesn't really say in this article. But the incident, they said in the early morning hours of September 29th, after the police responded following a confirmation with a tow truck driver who was there to repossess Mr. Perkins' vehicle. Police say, it's interesting, said they jumped to police say instead of the tow truck driver. Police say Perkins pointed a weapon towards the officer, which is when the officer shot him. Now, something is strange about this story, just reading these few lines. It goes from confirmation with the tow truck driver there to repossess a vehicle. Confirmation of what? Confirmation of he had a right to be to tow or repossess the vehicle, or confirmation that Mr. Perkins was armed and in some way threatened the tow truck driver. I don't know. But all of this we want to bring to light, and we want this family's story to be told and give them the freedom to express from their perspective and based on the facts what happened. Because in my experience, dear brothers and sisters, and being in North Mississippi and talking to our people, as I have experienced listening to brothers and sisters, working with building bridges and our brother Todd Bridges, my experience has been our people's stories are authentic. And when they say they've been wrong, I have yet to come across any family member that has exaggerated the story or the incident of what happened to their loved one. In every instance, it has been local media and the police departments themselves misreporting. And in some instances, it would appear that it's intentional. In other words, it's the kind of misstep in terms of reporting facts that make you scratch your head and say, how in the world could they have made that mistake? But that is the reality under which our brothers and sisters are living. So, brothers and sisters, we are still awaiting the return of our sister Adriana, along with brother William Stewart. But in the interim, what we're going to do, we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back after we take a quick break, and we're going to get started. Not there, brother. We're going to get started with tonight's program. We'll be right back.
I went astray, turned my back on the law. Wanted fortune and fame, trying to be a rap star. Chasing that mighty dollar, which ain't mighty at all. Perverted my thinking, and that's when I started to fall. Smoking Newports back to back. Smoking weed too while I packed the gap. Quick to peel a cap, put a black man in his grave. The same black man Master Farad came to save. Drinking Hennessy until I pass out. Rocking Dickie suits, pants pants sagging with my ass out. Living thug life like a savage, I was so hood. Wiping children home, I'm in the streets, up to no good. In the strip club, the great and the black woman, the mother of civilization. What was I doing? You couldn't even tell I was Islamic. Behold, the dog returns to his vomit. There's no question that I was lost, but you showed mercy on me and brought me back to the Mars. You made me a soldier again, and I'm eternally grateful. There ain't no holding it in. I had never stopped believing, but belief without works is dead. So I turned hypocrite. The thought of that hurts my head, hurts my heart, hurts my soul, and the hurt strong. Never again, God, help me make my word born. I feel the pain of what I did deep in my bones. Now that I'm back in the fold, I need to atone for turning my back on the things I know. Oh, Lord, please help me to redeem my soul. I stand before you confessing my sins. Give me the strength to go to war with the devil within. Help me to be slow to anger, quick to dismiss. Help me to forgive as I beg your forgiveness. I want redemption, Allah forgive me for the things I've done, dear Lord, I need you with me. I want redemption, Allah forgive me for the things I've done, dear Lord, I need you with me.
And we're back. I think our brother is ready to come before us. Let me see here. Brother Mark, we got a little echo there. Let me hold up a minute. Maybe they are not ready. I know they're there. I see them here. And let me stand by just a second. We still got some echo there. I hope they can hear me. But at any rate, brothers and sisters, we're just standing by and trying to get the family on. And I really don't want to go into the data that I've gathered in terms of the news stories, the press release of the Decatur, Alabama Police Department by Chief of Police Todd Pinion, I think his name is. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correct. As well as the family released a press statement to the public of what they had to say. And as always, brothers and sisters, you know, our families, when we see this kind of thing happen to us, even some of us have a tendency to question the authenticity of our brothers and sisters' side of the incident and what happened. It's always the attitude where he must have did something wrong. And we really take that posture. And if you would take time and pay attention, in almost every instance, in my experience, since I've been in North Mississippi, no, he didn't do anything wrong. And what gives us that perception a lot of times, brothers and sisters, when they put it on local news and they report the crime going on in the various cities throughout the country and the urban areas, they tend to put a magnifying glass on what black folk are doing. As a matter of fact, I was watching a video of some white people coming out of Walmart with baskets full of stuff that they didn't pay for. And the person that made the video made the comment, now this happens all the time where we live, but you don't never see them white people on TV rolling out the store with basket full of stuff that they ain't paid for. And they were casually walking. They weren't running. They were just walking. But when you look at local news, I know here where I live, for the most part, you're going to see that it's almost always us, as though we're the only somebody that's doing it. And I know in my 28 years of law enforcement experience, I've run across a spectrum of people shoplifting and stealing and all kinds of stuff, not just black folk. But again, on the nightly news, you tend to only see the stories where we're doing it. And what that does, it has the effect of causing our people to think guilty first where black folk are concerned, where their own people are concerned, while not thinking that way towards any other group of people. So, but that's what our experience is. And this is not to dismiss where we are culpable and where we have responsibility to ourselves. As I stated earlier, we've become the number one murderers, shooters, and robbers of our own self. not absolving us of that in the least. But that reality does not justify turning a deaf eye or superimposing that reality over the fact that the criminal justice system in this country is just as bad as it was when it comes to giving us justice as it was years in the past. I would say it maybe has improved a little bit. Really not. It's just more sophisticated. And the advent of camera phones and whatnot and video surveillance everywhere, you know, they can't hide it anymore. So when they're caught red-handed, they have no choice but to get up off it. But imagine what was happening before the advent of social media, before the development of the smartphone, where you have a computer in your pocket with a camera on it, and within a span of 10 or 15 seconds, you can whip that bad boy out and record in HD whatever is happening around you. So just something to think about, brothers and sisters. And I'm checking back with our brother Markel. You all are there?
Yes, we're here. And I think William is on.
Okay. I don't see him. Is it C. Perkins? Because if it's C. Perkins, he have to log on with the user ID and password and invite. Tell you what, Brother Perkins, Adriana, I'm going to text you a phone number, or you have my number, Sister Adriana. Text him and have him. Okay, hold on. I see someone down here calling in. Maybe that's him.
William Stewart.
I see somebody just called in, and it's I know I don't see a William Stewart. Not that name. I see an email address.
Oh, C. Perkins is his wife.
Let's see. C. Perkins is his wife. Well, I see her. I'm going to try to invite her on. Now, if she's not logged in with the user ID and password, okay, somebody is coming on. Okay, caller, you're on live. Is this you, Mr. Stewart?
Yes, sir. How you doing today, sir?
Man, I am well, brother. Thank you for coming on. Let's give him a round of applause and thank God that our brother made it on. Him and his family. Brother, let me first begin tonight talking to you by first thanking you for trusting our platform as a place where you can come and share such a personal story to hopefully bring more attention to this tragedy. And we also want to express our deepest condolences to you, to the Perkins, Mr. Perkins, his wife and children and extended family, man, because I know this is a very, very painful thing. So if you would, Mr. Stewart, could you introduce yourself to our audience and give any opening words that you would like to share?
My name is William Stewart. I'm actually Steve Perkins' cousin. We was just like my brother, man. We was real close, and we enjoyed each other's company coming up when we was little, all the way up to being adults, grown men.
Yes, sir. Wow.
And man, it's just a tragedy about what happened to my brother, man. He didn't deserve any of that.
No, sir. No, sir. I got to admit to you, brother, I watched that footage several times, man, and I actually teared up to just see a man come out in his own front yard, his own driveway. All he's holding is a flashlight, man. But very, very tragic. I'd like to ask, how is his wife and children? How is the family doing, man?
Man, they tore up, man.
Yeah.
I talk to them every day. They just tore up. The wife, she missed her husband, man.
Of course.
And brother, the mother missed her son. The sister missed her brother.
Yeah.
And his little girl, man, his daughters, man, they missed their dad. Because he was an awesome dad. You know what? Especially what we need in our black communities.
Yes.
Great fathers, and he was one of them.
Man.
And, man, we talked every day, man. And it was always something that, he just wanted to go to work, come home, provide for his family, and, just have, to enjoy life.
Yes, sir.
That's what Steve wanted to do, man. And brother, it was just, his family, they tore up.
Yeah, man.
His mother-in-law, father-in-law, he loved them, man. And they loved him.
Yes, sir.
And man, it's just a bad situation that what happened especially when Steve's at home bothering no one.
Right.
And he didn't ask the police to come out there and assist him with anything.
That's right. Yeah. And brother, that is me. I'm a husband, father, son, brother, uncle, a man that just wants to go to work, come home and enjoy life. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Love my wife and my daughter. I kiss them every day when I get up. I kiss them every night before I go to sleep, no matter what happens,
Right.
And this is what humanizes us. And I think, Brother Stewart, sometimes we allow our humanity, when this kind of thing happens to us, we allow the media to push our humanity under a rug somewhere, as though this brother wasn't important to people, a viable part of the community, and somebody that's going to be sorely missed. This is a big hole that is left when brothers like this are taken from us.
It's a dark hole. It's just, you just feel like you gutted, man.
Yeah.
Because Steve was a great guy, man. When a church going man, family man,
Yes, sir.
And man, down here in Alabama, I don't know, man. They just on that. They just don't do us right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They still on that old good old boy stuff.
Yes, sir.
If you're white, you're all right. If you're brown, you can stick around. If you're black, you better get the hell back. Yeah. That's how they still act around here, brother.
Yeah,
That's exactly how they act around here. Like we don't count. Like we're nobody.
And this is what makes brothers like Markel important men, and women that's with him, and brothers that's with him, and what we strive to do as students and helpers of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And this is why we strive hard to extend our hand and arms to all of our brothers and sisters and organizations that are struggling. And we are at a juncture in our history now, Brother Stewart, where we can no longer afford to allow differences in opinion on God and Jesus and the other things that have traditionally caused us to stand afar off from one another. And one thing about them, brother, they may have differences among white people, but when it comes to black folk, all of them can agree, a good number of them, I can definitely say. Those that have that mindset, they stick together where it comes to hating us is concerned. But brother, I want to ask you, could you give us, could you begin by giving us the date that it actually happened, the incident happened, and the circumstances that led up to the shooting itself? Because, the media has said their part, but I want to hear from the family, and I want the audience too.
The date was September the 29th.
Okay.
I had got a phone call from his neighbor, Justin Shepard. He called me 3 times at 2:03 a.m. in the morning. And I woke up and I was saying to myself, I said, this bro, neighbor right here, I want this, everything all right. I want to know it's early in the morning, wonder what's wrong. So he's calling back at 2:04 and I answered the phone and hello, Justin. His exact words was, get here quick. The police done killed your brother. Just like that.
Wow.
2:04 in the morning. The police have killed your brother. And man, it was some words, man. It was just, I thought I was dreaming, man. I thought I was dreaming, brother. Cause I was like, man, they done did what? Cause I know where Steve at. He ain't out types of night. He's a good husband. He got to go to work in the morning.
Right.
And I'm asking him, man, I said, man, is you sure? Is he moving? And his neighbor replied, they emptied the clip.
Yeah. Man, I saw that.
And man, I was Yeah, and it was like, after that, man, I was trying to get in touch with his wife because she worked the night shift and was at work. And when she called me back, I was telling her to know just to leave work and come to the hospital. So, we can see about Steve. I told her Steve had got hurt, but I thought they was going to send him to Decatur Hospital, the hospital in Decatur, Alabama, Decatur General.
Right.
And, they bypassed it. They didn't try to perform any CPR or anything on Steve. They just let him lay there, man. And my brother there screaming for help, asking for help.
Wow.
And they just patting him down, looking.
Yes, sir.
And let the tow truck man leave off with his truck.
Now
let him leave with his truck.
Now that's the next question, brother. What was the tow truck driver doing there? Because I've read that they were at the wrong house.
Steve wasn't behind on any payments. And I believe he was at the wrong house because he come one time before. Mm-hmm. And, Steve politely asked him to leave out his yard. Because, apparently he didn't want to do anything to him because the man left there. He left there and wasn't hurt or nothing.
Right.
That was at 12:18 midnight.
Okay.
So what I think he done is he called his buddies because it wasn't a 911 call.
Okay.
It wasn't a 911 call at all. So he called his buddies, and those good old boys, the police officers.
Right.
Yeah, the real gangs.
So to my understanding is the tow truck driver called and said something to the effect that he had been threatened by Steve.
Right. Ain't no telling what he said. He was probably lying and everything.
Right. Because those calls, all calls to 911 are recorded and they are available. And I mean, that's documentation.
Right.
You see it on the news a lot of times. They'll play the 911 call leading up to the incident. And
none of that.
Yes, sir. And so I'm sure that exists. I'm sure they probably, but we'll get to that question. What was the local authorities' immediate response? Okay, Steve gets shot. They bypassed Decatur General or the hospital that's closest. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the closest hospital.
Yes, sir.
To try to help him. Try to get him back to breathing and everything.
Right.
But they went to Huntsville Hospital.
Well, how far is that from where he lives?
From Steve, I'll say it probably, 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Okay, 25 minutes as opposed to if they went to the first hospital, house was how many minutes?
Man, it would have been 5 or 6 minutes.
Okay. Did they share with the family why?
They told us that he was in emergency surgery in critical condition.
Right. Now, brother, I listened to 17 or 18 shots.
Yes.
I observed a tow truck pull up.
Yes.
I observed a man come out of the house who was clearly apparently Steve, with a flashlight.
Yes.
And I see a shadow, which ultimately was a police officer, run out from the side of his house.
Yes.
So in other words, brother, I've been in law enforcement for coming up on 30 years. I know how this thing go, man. I'm in Memphis, and Memphis is a violent city. And I know how it go. There is no reason to conceal yourself if you're just dealing with someone that's getting a vehicle repossessed and a threat has been made. Even if a threat has been made, why would I as a police officer conceal myself and jump out and surprise the person that they say is a threat? Why would I not prominently display my squad car in the front of his house, turn on my blue lights so he can see that it's the police out here? And that more than likely that will de-escalate him unless he's just playing crazy. So
no,
that's one of the things. He
got all this sense.
Right. That's one of the things as a law enforcement officer that you try to do. The first stage in the use of force continuum is police presence. You make the person that you're going to deal with aware that police is present. Now, I tactically, as a uniformed patrol officer, would have turned on my blue lights if I got that kind of call. You know, I probably would have hit my siren, whoop, whoop, and let them know, would have alerted him. Now, he would have woke up and, oh, the police out here. Now, the chances of him coming out with a weapon would have probably been nil unless he just had a death wish. You feel what I'm saying? But no, the video shows that apparently these officers concealed themselves, surprised his brother, and essentially ambushed him.
Exactly. Didn't have any lights on. Didn't make themselves known at all. Man, Steve's 7-year-old little girl, even asked why they just didn't knock on the door.
Mm-hmm. See, a child understands that. A child understands that. A child can reason on that level to say, why didn't he's the police. Why didn't he just knock on the door? You know? Exactly. Now.
That's all they had to say, Decatur PD. Steve would have came to the door. How can I help y'all tonight, officer? Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow.
No, it would have gave them no problems. Never gave them any problems.
Yes, sir.
Never. Never.
Now, my brother, we get this story that the tow truck driver called the police, called 911 for whatever reason. I'm not going to speculate as to what he said, but based on the way they responded on the scene, looking at the footage, it appears that they expected trouble. The officers expected trouble. Now, the officer runs from behind the house, and they initially reported that the police yelled, "Police, drop the gun." You know, that's what was initially reported. Now,
that was the lie they told, the first lie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then they said he refused to drop the gun. So now, when was that put out in the media? Was that the next day, the 30th? Or was it
that was the same day, the 29th.
So it happened in the early morning hours, 2:04 in the morning on 29th. And then later on the same day, they reported what the officer did on the scene when he said, drop the gun.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Probably around about 8 o'clock that morning when they had to do the little breaking news.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they come out with a bunch of wrong information.
Wow.
And then try to defame his character.
Wow. And what did they say with regard to that?
I was like, the officers told him to drop his gun, and you know when they first put it out, it made you think like they had a shootout because they were saying the neighbor's house got hit, and you know you would think it was a shootout, but the whole entire time wasn't nobody doing any shooting but Decatur police.
Yes, that's clear from the footage.
Yes, that's where all the shots come from, where the neighbor's house got hit and everything. All those bullets come from Decatur police.
Wow.
Steve didn't have a weapon to fire.
So no gun was found on him or near him on the scene?
No. They went in Steve's house. They went in Steve and Catrilla's house.
Did they have a search warrant?
No, they had no search warrant. They went in there and just made their own search warrant up with a McDonald's napkin. Went on in there and did what they had. Went on there and framing my brother like they doing now, trying to frame him. Was going through the house because the neighbor told me. I was on the phone with him. Every minute, about a minute, he said, "Man, Pooh, they going in the house right now." I said, "Why is they going in the house?" I reach back and tell Steve's wife, "Patrilla, they going in your house." But you know, it was so much going on, man, because we were so worried about him.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's a Fourth Amendment. It was just a Fourth Amendment issue, man.
Right.
Illegal search and seizure. So the question, if you're there to pull a vehicle that was, according to a tow truck driver, that was behind in payment, if the vehicle is right there in plain sight for you to get, what need is there for you to go inside that residence? None whatsoever. See, brother, this is when our people are not informed on these things, they can play these kinds of games. You know, they can concoct a reason. Well, we had to go clear the house for officer safety and no, you need no reason. There was no reason for you. If you said somebody had a gun out in the driveway and you told them to drop it, they didn't drop it and you shot them, the threat wasn't outside the house. Wasn't no threat from within the house. So you have no reason to go there. Secondly, you were there on behalf to assist a tow truck driver on a repo. So you know, that's game, man. Now, how? And we're gonna take a quick break in a minute, man, because we're about 25 minutes out from tonight's program. No, go ahead.
And then these officers, they done murdered Katrina husband, done murdered my brother, and you know, man, no arrest has been made. Like you said from the beginning, like dude, they just want to, like his life didn't even matter. And then they'll sit their ugly selves up there on their council board, looking like a bunch of Scrooges, fat Scrooges, skinny Scrooges, just looking foolish. And like, just like got their nose turned up, people be talking and they playing on the phone, looking down, looking away, like this man wasn't loved.
Mm-hmm. See, brother,
it's just, man,
this is the time of year where many of the local businesses and whatnot rake in the lion's share of their revenue for this holiday season. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has said to us that we must redistribute the pain, as Dr. King has said when he was alive. And one of the ways that he wanted to do that, when he came to Memphis the day before they assassinated him, there was a bread factory in this city called Wonder Bread. And there was a milk producer in this city called Seal Test Milk. And Dr. King told black folk, don't buy Seal Test Milk or Wonder Bread. He told us to take our money out of First Tennessee Bank and put it in the black bank, and told us to get our insurance policies with Universal Life. And he said that we're going to engage in complete economic withdrawal from you. That's not boycotting. That's just making a decision to spend your money elsewhere. So, brother, the only weapon, the only effective weapon that really black people have at their disposal in the Delta, really, I would say throughout the country, is to just economically withdraw from them and organize ourselves as what brothers like Brother Markel is doing, and organize ourselves. We ain't got to call it no boycott, no blackout or nothing. No, we're just going to make a decision to build the economy of our community and circulate the dollar in our community and improve the current conditions and the life outcomes of our children.
That's what I'm talking about.
And we need to develop our own police force. See, brother, in the Nation of Islam, we believe policing our own selves. We have a force of men that we take the responsibility of securing our properties and securing our women. And we live an ascetic lifestyle. In other words, brother, we live the kind of life whereby we don't give the enemy an avenue by which to come into our life and do anything. So we don't get high. We don't get drunk. We're not going to be driving down the street and you smell loud coming from our car. Because what that does, our young brothers don't understand, is that gives them the segue or the open door to stop you in the first place. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
yes, sir.
And no shade on our young brothers, but this is a war that's going on, brother. Whereby they can just accost us at will and use any little thing. We make sure our license is straight. We make sure our tags are up to date. We make sure we got our. We don't give you no reason to bother us. You feel what I'm saying? So when you do bother us, it's clearly that you're profiling us for absolutely no reason. And that's what we want to share and teach with our men and women in our community, as in addition to withdrawing from them. But brother, I want to ask: Has Chief Pinion, I think his name is that correct?
Yeah, that's his name.
Chief Pinion. He put out a news release and said that, I want to read his exact words. He said, I'm going to quote him because, see, I pulled his press release of what he said. And what he said our news release in social media. Well, no, and I'm going to just read the excerpt if you don't mind, from his
go ahead, bro.
His press release. He released this Decatur Police Department for immediate release October 11th of this year. A message from Chief Todd Pinion. Here's an excerpt from what he released. He said, investigations take time to complete, but I pledge transparency in providing any information we are able to share as soon as it is able to be released. At this time, Alabama law prohibits me from sharing information about any evidence in the incident or releasing any body-worn camera video. I look forward to the time when we have the full picture of what occurred and we are able to share that with you no matter the outcome of both investigations, end quote. Now, he said Alabama law prohibits him from sharing information about any evidence, but he said when they can, he would release it. Has he held true to that? Now, this happened, September 29th?
September 29th. He released, I tell you one thing he released. He he released false information when Steve got killed that morning.
Yes, sir.
Alabama didn't tell him to do that.
So has he released anything with regard body cam footage or anything?
No body cam footage, no nothing. No nothing.
Has he even invited the family in to view it in private as a private session if he has confidence that his officer would act it appropriately? Because a lot of cities will do that. They may not release it to the public, but what they'll do is they'll set up a time and an appointment where the family, only the family members, the immediate ones, can come and watch the body cam footage.
They haven't seen any camera footage worth a man on the moon. No, they ain't seen no footage. They ain't got probably ain't got no footage. Then I feel like if they do got some, it's so bad, it's gonna hurt them even better if they show it.
Well, he alludes in his press release that they apparently have body-worn camera footage, because he says at this time body-worn camera video. He said Alabama law prohibits him from sharing information about any evidence in the incident or releasing any body-worn camera video. So he's suggesting that they do have it. He just can't release it, So where's the investigation now? Are they in touch with your family, brother? Are they communicating with you all at any level?
They supposed to make an announcement on December the 4th. Yeah, on December the 4th, they supposed to come up with something, what they're going to do or whatever. It's just strange. It's crazy. Because I know for a fact that the shoe was on the other foot. If it would have been me, you, Steve, and Andriana went over somebody's White House and ambushed them, man, they would have had us in jail before sundown.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they would have. That's how they do around here. They're not fair at all. Decatur really just showing us how racist they really are. They killed the innocent black man who is not going to do nothing to no one. Stephen have nothing but love in his heart, man.
Yes, sir.
When I say love in his heart, man, look, man, I love my brother.
Yes, sir.
I love him, man.
Yes, sir.
It's just sad. It makes me so sad to even talk about it, man, because I miss him so much. And I know his wife and his mama and the other brothers and sisters, man, they miss him and his daughters, man. He took time out with his family, even with basketball season. Jada playing basketball.
Wow.
Vonnie playing basketball. It didn't matter what it was. He was going to be there for him, man.
God Almighty. So is the officer, what's the status with the officer who's the shooter? Are they still concealing who he was
Why my sister Katrina on bereavement leave, the officer, he's on administrative leave. Might as well say he's on vacation.
Right.
Yeah, then we protesting and they telling us to get off the streets.
Right.
Like we're just so bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, see,
brother, ain't nobody making no violence. Ain't nobody doing no. Well, see, they done started the fight. Now they don't want to fight.
Right. Well, see, brother, this is what I would share with us. And Brother Markel will tell you, brother, one night I was on the Wednesday Zoom call with him, and I just had my spirit was not good, brother. And I'm like, don't we realize by now what we're dealing with? Because we essentially fund to some degree, our own oppression. Because in the face of the onslaught of this kind of injustice, we still support businesses and people that quietly behind the scenes support them. These people will walk up and hug you and say, I'm so sorry, while at the same time behind the door aiding and assisting financially these kinds of institutions and people that have committed this offense against us. So what I have said, and what, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has said to us, we need to withdraw from these people economically. We need to target and find out where we are spending our money. And if we find that those who we spend our money with are not sensitive to what's happening to us. This is what our brother Alfred Skip Robinson did. This is one of the tactics that he used. And it's not an unlawful tactic. We have a right to decide where we're going to spend our money. We're not saying we're fixing to boycott anybody. What we are saying is we are fixing to more intelligently dispense our money in areas where it will benefit us first, just like every other ethnic group does. But it's going to take some discipline. It's going to take some sacrifice and some patience. Otherwise, we will continue to suffer as a people what we're suffering, dear brother. Man, look, I'm going to take a quick break, Brother Stewart. We're going to come back, man. We got about 10 or 13 minutes left. We're going to come back and we're going to wrap it up, brother. So just hang tight with me. Hang tight, brother. And we will be right back after these commercial announcements.
You use your religion as an excuse not to stand up and fight your natural enemy. And the only people on this earth, Brother Alton, the only people on this earth that use their religion and their so-called belief in God as an excuse not to stand up and confront their enemy is my people. Negroes are the only people I know that use it.
Ghost, I ain't dead. It's a pleasure to give my life just to live forever. He who weaponizes the blood of martyrs said, get your children ready for the slaughter. Blame the patriarchy, thank your fathers. But every racist devil had a racist mama. When strange fruit meets forbidden fruit, your hands up today, don't shoot. So say my name. Really can't afford this price of fame. Who knew the guy had a boomerang and he called it karma? She ain't never shied away from no drama. From 1555 to 1955, we watched it intensify. Some still believe the lies, cause niggas too scared to believe their eyes. My fear died.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call Radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
What's your source for truth in news reports?
Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Where do you turn for non-corporate driven news that's fair and balanced?
No shoot.
Subscribe to the Final Call News, your #1 free and independent news source that delivers hard-hitting national and international news coverage of today's political, economic, and social issues. To subscribe to local home delivery, call us at area code 662-252-8999. That's 662-252-8999. Visit our website at www.finalcall.com.
The Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique. At Urban Indulgence, we pride ourselves on offering quality, effective skincare. Handcrafted with plant-based, skin-loving ingredients, our soaps and body butters will give you luxurious lather and ultimate moisture. Experience The Urban Indulgence at 3314 Poplar Avenue in Memphis, 3 blocks west of Poplar Plaza, or shop with us online at theurbanindulgence.com. theurbanindulgence.com.
Taste the difference. Taste supreme. Enjoy our 100% natural Supreme Spring Water with natural calcium and magnesium, but zero fluoride and zero chloride. Our bottles are BPA free. Order yours today. Call us at 800-573-8033. That's 800-573-8033. Or visit us online at www.supremespringwater.com. Live supreme. Be supreme. Drink supreme. Supreme Spring Water. 801 Joseph E. Boone Boulevard, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30314.
10,000 fearless on the move.
And we are back live with the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. Man, I just realized, Sister Adriana, I've had you muted the whole time. And I was wondering why you weren't chiming in, and I just assumed that you just was content to sit and listen. And okay, let me make sure. Okay, now, yeah, brother William, are you still there, right, Brother Stewart?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Yeah, I got you. And I'm going to put 10 more minutes on this because Sister Adriana, I wanted to hear from you as well as Brother Markel, if he wanted to chime in and have some words. Man, I please forgive me, you all. I've had you all on mute the whole time I was talking to Brother Stewart, Brother William. But this thing is horrible, man. The video footage,
man, it's awful, brother. It is awful.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you too with that chief. He had got on there and said they violated policy and procedure.
Yes, my brother William, who gives our farm report, he just sent me a message stating, according to the Associated Press, the police chief said he believes the officers may have violated department policies, but would not speculate on which policies. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Dude,
exactly.
When an officer, any police chief worth his salt, when an officer violates policy before the end of the shift, they know exactly if they had gathered all of the facts. And he's been doing this investigation since September 29th. And here it is, the end of November, 2 whole months.
Man,
and now you still don't know what policies he violated? Come on, man.
And brother, we've been continuously complied and remain nonviolent in this situation. Mm-hmm. You know, we've been given no answers.
Yeah.
You know, if you really think back when Martin Luther King, you know, he was nonviolent versus Malcolm, who he believed in different beliefs, but they both were murdered in cold blood at the end of the day.
That tells you something, brother.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Whether you talk to them nicely, they still gonna kill you. If you cuss them out, they still gonna kill you because Malcolm didn't do anything to them.
They gonna do what they want. Steve was nonviolent,
right?
And shot my brother 7 times. What they say, but he shot 18 times. Yeah. Now who he shooting at?
Yeah,
then the sad part, the same officer wrecked a young teen. 16 years old, man, a high school football player. Say he was involved in that on September the 4th.
He did what?
Wrecked a teenager, chased a teenager out of 2 or 3 counties and made him wreck and killed himself.
Wow.
This was on September the 4th, I think. Same officer that killed my brother. Same one, man. Now what? I'm trying to figure out what's going on around here.
Well, brother, it's the same thing that's been going on that we as a people have been watching for generations. But our problem is we have not effectively and appropriately responded. Now, we don't have to it's like Dr. King said, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has said this. We as Muslims, we don't believe in nonviolence, but we don't believe in being the aggressor. We're not turning the other cheek. We're not. If you attack us, we are taught to fight with those who fight with us. But we are not going to be the aggressor. So all of us live by that. We do it to one another. You don't turn the other cheek towards another black person. Okay.
That's right.
I'm not advocating going down to City Hall and nowhere and getting by. No, I'm not advocating that. As a matter of fact, I don't think we need to waste time protesting.
That's right.
Because our actions with regard to the use of our resources will speak louder than any protest will ever speak. That's the truth. And that's not to disencourage or cast shade at our brothers and sisters who use that tactic. But a careful study of our history as struggling black folk, when we made them go, ouch, then they wanted to sit down and talk. And the way we made them wince was applying economic pain to them by redistributing our dollars in such a way that they missed our dollar. And frankly, I think they need to be made to permanently miss our dollar.
That's right.
Because it's 2023. And you mean to tell me in 2023, we still experiencing the kind of local government that our great-great-grandparents experienced in the late 50s, early 40s, all the way up into the 60s and early 70s, and it's still continuing to persist in 2023.
Preach, brother.
No,
Preach,
sir, brother. We need to change something, man. We need to turn inward. White folks ain't the problem no more. Rogue police officers are not the problem no more. They are a symptom of a problem that we have with self, is because we have not looked at ourselves in the eye and as brother and sister and seen each other as flesh of our flesh and bone of one another's bone, and looked at my brother's wife as my sister, and look at his children as my nieces and nephews. And that's we got to get back to the black community, that when you went outside, I remember when I was a little boy, you go outside and cut up. Before you got home, your mama knew about it.
Hey, you got that right. I'm saying? Don't get a whooping wherever you cutting up at.
Right. You get a whooping, and then they escort you home and tell your mama, I saw your son
don't
down
get
here.
Another whooping.
He was down here cussing. Girl, he was what? Girl, he was down here just showing out. He was cussing loud too. Then the Miss what's her name then whipped you up the street and said, boy, your mama gonna tear your behind up, and you take you home to mama and you get another one. That's the kind of community we need to redevelop. And we in the Nation of Islam, we call it this: self-improvement is the basis for community development. This is how we can stop our young brothers out in the street with these guns, pointing them at one another. That's what this podcast, and it's called the 10,000 Fearless Tri-State. And our goal and mission is to get our people to return to love of self, respect of self. It's like the old Staple Singer song, brother. If you don't respect yourself, ain't nobody going to give a hoot for you.
Yes, sir.
So until black folk return to the respect and love of self, then we will continue to be disrespected by other ethnic groups. Sister Adriana, you got some words of Brother Michael?
Yeah, we're right here together. I just wanted to thank you all from the 10K Fearless family. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the student minister, Shakir Muhammad from Montgomery chapter came down 2 weeks ago.
I know Brother Shakir.
Yes, they came down and they were supportive of the movement. They canvassed the neighborhoods, and we had lunch and, drawing awareness to Steve and his family. So I just wanted to commend you all and thank y'all for, spreading it, because this is a tragic death. This is unacceptable. We do not consent to this. And this just shows that, we can all be from different walks of life, but as black people, we can come together in unity as one to make sure that we protect each other. Mm-hmm. We show love to each other. We embrace each other. And, it's time to hold these white devils accountable. We can pretend and act as if this is not about race, but it is. Because as William said earlier, if it was someone else, it wouldn't have happened this way. We wouldn't have to wait 60 days on an arrest, 60 days on termination or prosecution. We would have had a capital murder charge the next morning. So we have issues. And there's a way, as you mentioned earlier, for us to be effective, and we need to put our boots on the ground, and we need to do what we have to do as a community, as a city, as a state, through whatever channel of influence you have. Let's get it done.
Yes, ma'am. And this certainly, Sister Adriana, Brother Markel, and Brother William, and those that are listening, families that have been ill affected. And I got to get with my brother Shakir down there, because we need to get mobile, which of course you told me they're already mobile. I know Brother Shakir is on it, because in the southern region of the Nation of Islam, under the leadership of our student regional minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad, he is the interim national director of the 10,000 Fearless. And he set up in the Bluff in Atlanta, one of the most crime-ridden areas in Atlanta, Georgia. And he brought God in the Bluff and curtailed the violence that was going on. And the point is, once we get our communities cleaned up, they'll respect it. Because in other communities that have love and respect for themselves, property values are up. You don't see people running through their community doing that kind of crap. Matter of fact, if you a stranger riding through their neighborhood, they'll police it. They'll walk up and ask you, what you doing here? What's your name? You don't live around here. And we whip out our cell phones and say, well, you know, I can come down the street. Well, you don't live. White folks is bold now. They'll block your car in. I think we should use a similar tactic. When we see them walking through our communities and don't look like they belong, what's your business here, sir? How can we help?
Don't wait here, low down scowl. Mm-hmm. You got that right.
I'm telling you,
what
man.
What you doing here?
And the thing of it is, and this and I'm gonna say this. Most of the instances where these brothers are being found hung, in these instances, you dating Billy Bob's daughter, and he done told you to leave his baby alone. Now I know some of us gonna get mad, but brother, you cannot expect to plant an apple seed in the dead of winter in that environment and produce an apple tree by spring, because it ain't planting season yet. Now you want to cultivate an interracial relationship in an environment that's not conducive for that. And the Deep South ain't no place for a black man to be messing with old racist Billy Bob's daughter. And he find out, and a few weeks later, you found hanging somewhere, and then they rule it a suicide. You need to leave that.
That's so what been happening.
Leave that. I know that's what the brother's been telling me. You leave that women alone. All our sisters, they're more worthy of us than they are. And people can get mad and call it reverse. No, it ain't no reverse racism.
I tell you what, me and Steve showed them mess with them. We love our sisters. Steve loved his wife, and I love my wife.
Come on now. Come on now.
You got that right.
I
love my black wife.
Come on, brother. Love mine too. My black daughter. Sure. And it's self-respect,
no, that's
man.
Right.
You know,
black sons, I love them. I love us.
So, you know, brother, I had to say that, and I stand on that. We stand on that, brother. Now,
you got that right.
We're not blind to when people love one another, but the reality is, every time I hear about a brother found dead, part of the backdrop of it is he's involved with some white man's daughter, niece, or whatever that they did not approve of. And they have made it clear, abundantly clear, to leave their women alone. But some of us brothers, we have just got to go there. You know, so, hey.
If she can't use your phone, you don't bring her ass home. You got that right, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hey, and brother, I tell you what else they did. Now, they ain't made no arrest about my brother Steve.
Yes, sir.
Now when I ain't gonna call no names. When my man's car stopped on the bridge, now they want to make some arrests.
Okay.
Talking about we holding up the bridge. This man got car trouble.
Wow.
We should have held up the bridge every day. That's what we should have. When he held up the bridge the first time, we should. So when they broke it up, we should have went right back down there and held it up again. Because when he did that right there, that's when they want to shut everything down. You know, you slowed the money down then.
Yeah, and I'm calling, brother.
Block that bridge out.
All them little gang members down there in Mississippi. We want to talk to you all, brother. Because you all are the warrior class of our people, but you at war with one another. You at war with the wrong people. We want to talk to the vice lords. My brother Main C is doing great work down there in Indianola, Mississippi. Shout out to brother Main C and to all of them soldiers that's down, brother Dope Belly. And all them brothers down in the deep delta doing great work amongst our young men, teaching them growth and development, and the conservative vice lords down there. Shout out to them. You know, they're trying to teach these young brothers, look, man, you can be organized. Just don't be organized for criminal activity and wrongdoing. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Because if you've ever seen the picture of Dr. King, Martin Luther King, he's shooting pool in a pool hall. and you see him with the cue stick behind his back. You ever seen that photograph, that historic photograph? If you,
I don't believe I've seen it.
Well, I see Sister Adriana Sip coming on. You're on. Welcome, Don. But that picture of Dr. King on that pool table with the pool cue behind his back hitting the ball, he's in the pool hall that was owned by the conservative vice lords of Chicago. The conservative vice lords started out as a community organization trying to improve. And what the history we don't know is that those organizations, the conservative vice lords, the Panther Party, all of the black liberation organizations were infiltrated by agents who look just like us and introduced criminal activity amongst our people. And media was used to totally criminalize. And over time, those who came afterwards, generations later, thought that that was the norm and that's what those organizations were about. When the truth is, it's not what they're about. But it's on us to turn that around, brothers and sisters. It's on us collectively. No one organization can do it alone. No one organization can do it alone. So it's on us. So I had somebody just come on that's got Sister Adriana's name. Is that another one of your relatives?
No, it's me. I swapped phones.
Oh, okay. No, that's okay. Don't be sorry, sister. Listen, I want to thank you all for coming on. And I pray, I genuinely pray that the situation improves and that the family gets some measure of justice. I don't have any confidence, I'm going to just be honest with you all, in the leadership in Decatur, Alabama to be just. I don't have confidence. I've lost confidence in them. As a matter of fact, I don't believe in appealing to a power that has demonstrated to you that they don't even have it in their heart to hear your petition and your cry and feel your pain. That's like the gazelle pleading with the cheetah, please don't eat me. And the cheetah is hungry as heck and ain't ate in 2 weeks. You feel what I'm saying? You gonna get ate, bruh. It's just as simple as that. So we just have to change the way we respond. Brothers that are in law enforcement, brothers and sisters that are in positions of authority, we have to begin to think in the best interest of our people. Yeah, but you know, most of us are, we have to think for everybody. Yeah, you think for everybody except for your own. That's what you really do. So, dear family, thank you. I applaud you. I pray that God will keep you strong and bring healing to your families, to Mrs. Perkins, the wife of our brother who was shot down. Dear sister, if you're listening, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your children. To the mother of Brother Stephen, our thoughts and prayers, and his father, if he's living. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, Brother William, and you, Sister Adriana, and to the whole Building Bridges family. Know that this is a platform that just give Brother Shaheed a call. And if we'll work you in and get these stories told, because if we don't tell our own story, you know, it'll get mentioned in national and local news, passing, and then they'll wait till we get tired of protesting. Then it'll just fizzle on out and it'll become a fleeting memory that we talk about and nothing gets done. Just like the brother in Scott County, he was hanged. The family got the lawsuit. They won the lawsuit, but no justice. You know, they threw a little money out to the family. Meanwhile, the perpetrators are still free to do it and victimize another family. So, brothers and sisters, thank you all for coming on. God willing, we'll be in touch in the near future. We greet you with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Love you, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Michael. Love you, sir. Peace. Dear family, that was our brother and sister, Sister Adriana, Brother William, and our brother Markel of Building Bridges that was on with us. Very, very tragic story, dear brothers and sisters. And it is our prayer that God would heal that family and move them forward, while at the same time holding those who are guilty accountable. But one thing I will say from the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, they may escape man's law. They may, but even the people in Scott County, even the people responsible for the murder of Rasheem Carter, even the people responsible for all of the murders and nameless people that have suffered at the hands of local law enforcement, yeah, you may not get held accountable according to your jurisprudence in your courts of law. But we serve a God that controls rain, hail, earthquakes, and tornadoes. And brother. He has a way of serving justice. So his justice, you will not escape. We have a tendency to want to call that karma. So to those that are in Decatur, Alabama, when you find yourself having a terrible time and when tragedy strikes you and strikes close to your home, just remember what you've doled out, because in the book of Obadiah in the Bible, it says, as thou hast done, so shall it be done unto you. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in tonight. We're going to leave you tonight. We've done our commercials. I won't do them again. I've been over by 11 minutes already. So we want to leave you as we came before you with the greeting words of peace. God willing, we'll be back next Thursday at the same time. We leave you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
10,000 fearless on the move.
Let's go. Deep in the Delta where the willows grow, in the soil stained by the blood of my ancestors. Punch bowl voices call out to my soul for justice. The wicked will reap what they've sown. Spirit of Aziz is back on the rise. Soldiers in the Delta kept it alive. Time to stand up, take our place in the sun. Understand the time and what must be done.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. Mississippi. 10K fearless on the move. Mississippi.
Gotta make a move and take control. Have something we can call our own. So shine your light, help the people see that now is the time for us to be free. And if you waiting on the pie in the sky, you better wake up fast. They told you a lie, cause big fields await the wide awake man. Elijah's got the message.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. Mississippi. 10K fearless on the move. Mississippi. Injustice, we've had enough. All of our divisions, we're breaking up. Destiny has been calling us. The spirit of the Most High is guiding us.
See, the time is now. What you waiting on? Quit shooting your brothers. Put your gun down. Come on. They got a cage waiting for you if you keep that up. Early graves coming to you. From that, can't raise you up. Now, Sister Ida B and Fannie Lou, check them out and you'll know what to do. But if you really want your enemy to be alarmed, read the final call. Follow Farrakhan.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. Mississippi. 10K fearless on the move. Mississippi.